definitely upside target 2,200. Went up the way up towards, what did it go into, 2,200. Nice one. So that old technical analysis worked very well for us back then. Certainly played out very nicely. Coming in there for a 2618 Fibonacci retracement overall on that one. So we'll just consign that to the past now at this stage and take a look at this with fresh eyes. Okay, if I'm coming into this if I was coming into this just to look at this chart for the first time with a completely neutral perspective on things, I would be seeing, first off, a crazy bullish asset overall here. For some reason, people are valuing it down here fractions of what it's worth nowadays, and it's roared towards the top side, and it seems to have upward side momentum carrying it into this highs of the 2200s, when it has suffered pullbacks so far along the way. It's managed to have enough momentum in it to do 36% pullbacks and yet still continue up the way, resulting in actually overall, unfortunately for its kind of current position, in this kind of wedge type idea as well. But it's the same scenario with Bitcoin. Can we push past certain zones? Well, where is this happening at? And we know this is happening in the old blue sky zones, whatever, the all-time highs areas for this coin. So this is absolutely fantastic to see that it's pushed up here, and the diminishing volume comes in as people taking profit, waiting for us to see if the prices are able to push up the way past this zone, or if they need to consolidate further. Excuse me for the old itchy eye-ness there. It's really doing me. We're not bots, haha. We just believe in this project, not an ordinary shitcoin. Well, there you go. Nice one. Thanks for proving me wrong. You see a lot of it on YouTube, right? Two people having a conversation, you think, well, hey, especially if they're being positive, right? Also, what's your thoughts on BNB? I'm not in this community where everybody's positive to each other. I'm just saying. Also, what's your thoughts on BNB? Can it take over Ethereum? Interesting question. A very interesting question, and what we're seeing is very good strength in BNB, and it has got some good reasons for it with its BSC sort of smart chain. Interesting point of view. Can it take over Ethereum? Well, or is there room for them to live? Can man and fish coexist? I wonder. It depends. We've got these sort of targets, don't we, that we put on things like Ethereum 2.0 becoming fully fledged. Will it actually sort out the fees issue overall or not? Could we be looking at that? Got to wonder about these things. If you were to go for a 60% area move off the back of any negative downward play here, I wouldn't be looking any further really necessarily than down towards that 1400 zone. Pushing on past the way, then I'd be coming in for a 200 simple moving average test here on the daily time frame. So if that were to happen, if you were to get negativity on this thing at all, so just like drawing in some red lines here, this general zone would be where you would be aiming for in a greedy mindset if you're trying to counterplay this currently with the upward side potential. But we are indeed seeing that drop off in the volume. That's not to say that there won't be an increase in volume yet again, but it's just it really depends, then as well, how far we could expect to see things possibly go if they do indeed push northward. This is the linear chart, by the way, so that's why that measuring stick stayed a similar sort of size, and this does bring you up towards the 3K area if you get a positive resolution on this consolidation. Is it possible for it to happen? Absolutely is. The best buy areas for us have been seeing it at these areas, and what we're seeing is that it drops down towards the 50 and it's able to stay above the 50 overall. It does have a zone below giving you the your better buy price, but then of course once it retakes the 50, you've got an opportunity here to play it for a longer move, perhaps towards the top side. We're seeing that resolve overall. If it did come down towards the lower end, the 1800 area, sort of 1900 to 1800 would be your best buy price. But we're seeing the 21 EMA pointing up nicely on the 24-hour time frame, and things going on, overall in a positive overall frame of mind. The last couple of highs are not divergent. What did we have here? Somebody's done something, but I didn't see it. Michael John Scott's become a member. Thank you, Michael John Scott. Thank you for Micah. Smooth. Nice. Excellent for Micah, my friend. Good to have you here doing that sort of Good stuff. Right. So anyway, yeah. So we've in the last couple, of course, the overall impulse up the way has got this large peak on it, which is showing us that in this period since we've not had continuation to the likes of which we've seen before, giving us warning signs at any given time. Warning signs which, if you're playing it just on a pure spot account basis, doesn't necessarily scare you too much. But you're seeing 36%, 27% there, and if you were to go down towards the lower end, 20%, giving you sort of a tightening up as well overall in terms of a diminished returns look towards the downside if you're continuing to short it in terms of your potential gains in the face of increased support in these areas towards the top side. So bullish scenario continues on up the way. I'll remain very much bullish on it while it's above $2,000. Any plays that you're having, recommend that you kind of bear in mind the overall volatility on this thing from a little sort of just word to the wise kind of point of view. Just zooming on in the way here and looking back, you can see that after a day or 2 days you can get a little bit frustrated if you're seeing movements which add up to just a couple of percent, but then you think to yourself, well, like, what happens whenever it does move overall? Well, that's what I was meaning before about if it moves just a couple of percent and you keep stacking on along, just wait for confirmation a little bit. Perhaps, I'm not a financial advisor, and if you see a a trend towards the downside, it can kick off and come all the way down towards lower targets, without actually really necessarily setting the heather alight in terms of what anybody would be saying about things. Bitcoin, Ethereum at the minute is consolidating sideways. We're waiting to see how this one resolves. We have got our move idea, what we discussed recently, in here playing out for us so far, saying that we're in positive territory. Can we push up towards those highs? What we're looking up towards here, somewhere between the sort of 0.04 and up price point on the Ethereum Bitcoin price pairing. After we've done here, we have a diamond type strategy mentality in this zone here, seeing with the higher high and the lower low ish, if you want to kind of consider it to be like that. I'm not 100% sure that is necessarily a lower low, or not an optical illusion, but just the all of these things resolve the same way. Not all of them resolve the same way, but you've seen me talking or heard me, you'll have heard me saying before about how you have like twin peak strategies and lumping Head and Shoulders and Adam and Eve, etc., into them, and then talking about the psychology that goes around those zones that you'd be breaking past and how that relates to horizontal areas, and as well perhaps the potential Fibonacci zones you'd be looking to, etc., etc. Well, you've got the same sort of scenario when it comes to consolidation after a rise. It's going to be diagnosed by one particular person as a flag of some sort. Another person is going to start saying this is a triangle. Another person's going to say it's a half staff. And another one. Well, and you can also then have people chucking in their hat in with the diamond crowd as well. But a lot of the time, what you're looking at is saying that you've had an impulse up, consolidation, and you might go for something similar yet again. Looking at the range towards the top side as being sort of as demolishable as the previous one was. And what we can see is that we've had a nice, then with this impulse move up, reluctance for this the 50 and the 200 simple to cross negatively here, and we could actually then suffer a retrace, which would amount to as much as a 10% retrace on this one, and still have the overall positive upward trend in our favor, continuing forwards at this point on the way. Just need to see this continuing up. I just want everybody's, if we're going to say about the trend, like the reason this could snap back the way is if you look back 50 plus bars, you'll see that is actually all the price action where we had the highs. So the 200 is very much going to continue to go towards the top side, whereas the 50 is being supported by the recent price action, and of course the 21 highly angular towards the top side. But we need to see this play out, which is why you can tie all those things together and say that the discussion about this has to involve the idea of us getting a move along this potential, and that would take you up to the 618 zones, etc., towards the top side, and then of course it could plop you right back down the way towards these previous areas down below, and that would all be happening in amongst, of course, interaction with those EMAs. So this is what I'm looking for, resolution of this thing, and I'm just saying that you're going to be playing it wise and playing it smart if you're looking to, like, you know, kind of refrain from taking high risk moves which involve incorporating the entire range of consolidation within your risk tolerance before you actually are able to make a decision, which is what you see so often amongst newer traders out there, is that they would have to then include in their risk management at the very, very least that entire area of consolidation between the highs and the lows to try and survive within a trade, only, you know, to then, you know, find themselves getting out of it at the point where it pushes past certain zones. You're better off overall having a bit of, you know, give and take, looking at your trade and trying to get in at a better area, a better buy price overall. So we've had a pullback today in today's price action, dropping down towards the 4-hour time frame. You can see, of course, this is the potential to turn into downward, you know, a downward flag. We've got this low followed up by a lower low, high followed up by a lower high, and then in terms of the overall downward trajectory of this thing, you've got that increase over there. It's not happening so far for it. If we did push on down the way, then you know, it's not the most amazing 4-hour downward trend. It's there. It's just happened. It's just this consolidation. So still looking for that resolution. That's what we're waiting for. Other things to look at: total market cap continue to go towards the top side. Bitcoin dominance continue to go towards the downside. This is exactly what we've been wanting to talk about for so long. Bitcoin dominance, or total market cap, up. Bitcoin dominance, down. Bitcoin price, up. What's that add up to? It adds up to the potential for wonderful altcoin season. So let's see. Will this go through? If so, see comments to look at. Feta, please, and thank you. Okay, Mike, let's take a look at Feta. Is it going to be glorious? By the way, nobody's actually specified, so I'm going to just assume that you mean Feta versus USDT. Struggling to get that there, so I'm just going to go Feta first off. Not seeing it. Am I getting the wrong? Let me know Feta. Let me just bring up Feta on the old Feta coin market cap, right? Where is it traded at, etc.